University of Science and Technology in Faridabad has dropped the black robe and square caps to use Indian attire dress code for the upcoming convocation on the 15th of February. The students and teachers have been asked to follow a new dress code. The male students have been asked to wear white full-sleeve shirts and white trousers with black shoes, or white kurtas and pajamas with black shoes or sandals. The women students have been asked to wear white saris with the golden border, or white kameez and white salwar, white dupatta with black shoes or sandals. Basically, they're trying to get away from what they think is a colonial legacy and replace it with an Indian one.
You don't have any answer to the fundamentals in higher education. You just grab a headline for a day or two, people will talk about it, then things remain at the same level. Now, my problem is that when the government 24/7 believes symbolism as the only choice available before them, the entire idea is reduced to symbols, and nations don't make or don't become great simply on the politics of symbolism.
I think the Faridabad convocation, where the institute has come out with a dress code, it is within their powers, it can be their discretion. However, they must do application of mind when coming out with such guidelines, because these guidelines create a controversy and somewhere become regressive due to certain conditions. But it cannot be called illegal, but it is a discretion of the institute.
The YMCA University has dropped black robes and square hats for their upcoming convocation to use the Indian attire dress code. While the male students have been asked to wear white trousers with white shirts, female students have been asked to wear white saris. Now, even as the varsity administration is trying to justify this decision, saying it was taken to simplify the dress code, there is a section of students that is just not happy with this decision. In New Delhi, this is Al Gautam with Vijay Nitin for NewsX.
All right, so the YMCA University of Science and Technology, Faridabad, Haryana, which is a state university, dropping the black robes and square hats from their convocation ceremony on the 15th of February and replacing it with white Indian clothes because they want to do away with the colonial legacy. We've opened up our phone lines. You can call in to give short views on this or ask questions to our guests. Our guests are Vishnu Jain, who's a lawyer, Naveen Chopra, who's an educationist. The number to call, it's on the screen over there, 0120-436-9674. Vishnu Jain, you heard over there, Manoj from the RJD saying that this is merely a symbol. What will it really achieve? What do you think of that?
See, actually the Haryana government and the YMCA has followed the speech of our Prime Minister, which was given in the Parliament the other day, and our Prime Minister has clearly mentioned that he wants to get rid of the age-old traditions which was enforced in India by the Britishers, and that was one of the moves when the bill which was being placed in the Parliament at 5 o'clock, that if you remember, that was taken over by 11 o'clock. So all these age-old traditions which are enforced by the Britishers in our country, we want to get rid of them, and YMCA, I welcome the move of the YMCA because it's our fundamental right to get restored to our old original Hindu culture, and this is one of the moves.
All right, let me ask Naveen Chopra. You've heard Vishnu Jain saying that he accepts, in fact, welcomes the decision of the YMCA University. What is your view on this, Mr. Chopra?
You know, the graduation for all students anywhere in the world is a very, very special occasion, and it remains with them for the rest of their lives. Now, the symbolism, this too is a symbolism. The square hat, the robe, the throwing up of the hats, the celebration that you have gained, the hat symbolifying the academia. I mean, when you see that hat anywhere, you know it's an academic, achievement. Now, if you want to replace it, first of all, you need to replace it with something that's going to make sense. The dress code that has been announced has absolutely no meaning whatsoever. So it's again an
Why'd you say that, Mr.
change
Chopra?
for the sake of change. And second point,
Why do you think the dress code makes no sense?
Our civilization's greatest, well, is it something that's going to be identified across the academia, across the world, across India, across whether an American sees it or a Russian sees it or a Chinese sees it, it's going to say that this is the Indian graduating from Indian universities? Is it? I mean, you know, if you want to do something like this, it has to happen as a national thing. And please don't forget the bigger question that our civilization is what it is. It is great because of one single fact that rests at the core of our civilization. We are an inclusive civilization. When we see something, we include.
Okay.
We
I
are
think
inclusive.
Vishnu Jain wants to respond
we don't have this, you know.
This doesn't mean that we forget our own culture.
Yeah. How are you forgetting your culture? You forget your culture every day when you do all the smucky stuff that we do. Our culture is, first of all, it
Definitely
is
we are forgetting our culture. See, if the minorities,
in being kind to each other, in giving. You see the way you behave. If we want to restore to our dress code, you see the way you behave with each other. I mean, where is our culture? Where is our culture? What culture are we talking about?
That's not the debate. Don't sideline the debate. The debate today is about the dress code. If the YMCA University...
It is a broader debate.
See, we both can't speak together.
It is a broader
debate. Let me give an opportunity.
All right, Vishnu Jain, I'm coming to you. Let's take a caller first.
What are you gaining?
Kalpana Ravi's on the phone line from Mumbai. Yes, Kalpana Ravi, please go ahead.
Jujar, I think it's a fabulous move. Why not promote Indian culture and Indian dress code? I mean, is it necessary to have a robe and a hat? I mean, I think we need to get out of this, you know, Western syndrome, British legacy, which has been forced down our throats from everything, from graduation to law to everything. Even the British government has changed this law, but we don't want to. We're still harping on some 1850. And I think, Mr. Naveen Chopra, are you ashamed to say that an Indian graduating in Indian clothes is not a global thing? I'm surprised for an educationist to talk like this. I really welcome this move. I wish we also had done it, you know.
All right.
Global thing. I'm surprised for an educationist to talk like this. I really welcome this move. I wish we also had done it, you know.
All right. Kalpana Ravi,
Kalpana
Ravi, thanks very much. Quick response from Mr. Chopra. Then we take another caller. Praveen Krishna is on the line.
I need to respond.
Let me just come in.
I need to respond.
Yeah, very quickly,
that
Naveen
is
Chopra.
absolutely not true. What I'm saying is that if there is going to be a change in a dress code, it has to be thought through, it has to be national, it has to be identified with graduation. That's what I'm saying. Not a willy-nilly one institution gets up and says, for the sake of it, we are dumping this. If you want to dump it and replace it with something that's going to make national sense and it's going to be uniformly used so that it becomes identified with graduation as a graduation ceremony.
All right, very quickly, I'm coming to Vishnu Jain, but first, let's take another caller. Praveen Krishna is on the phone line from Bengaluru. Please go ahead, Mr. Krishna.
Hi. The change which they were proposing is very good. Any change happens only from the first step. And people like Naveen Chopra says, the first step itself is not correct. I don't understand how they were called academicians. Let them give a start on any small thing which happens. Every small thing BJP government does, where the BJP government is, it simply starts saying that it's saffronization. I don't understand why we need to follow something which was there from years long.
All right, Mr. Praveen Krishna, thanks very much for your view. Let's give an opportunity to Vishnu Jain now to say something. Yes, Mr. Jain, you wanted to respond to Mr. Chopra as well.
See, Jujar, what I'm saying is that under our constitution, the minorities got the right to preserve and protect their cultural heritage under Article 29 and 30. That same right is available to the members of the majority community. If today the YMCA, Mr. Chopra was asking me that what will you gain? We will gain our own cultural heritage. We want to restore our cultural heritage. And what is wrong in this move? Because of this move, the students will relate more to our own Indian cultural heritage. Why should we adopt British robes? Why should we adopt
let's take another caller. Mukul Kabra is on the line from Gurugram. Mukul Kabra on the line from Gurugram. Please go ahead. Okay, lines got cut over there. Let's take another caller. Kamlesh Bhatt is on the phone line from Rajkot in Gujarat now. Mr. Bhatt, are you there?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead now. You're on air.
Yeah, hello?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, I agree with Mr. Vishnu Jain.
Yes.
Our Indian culture should be started in this universities, because this is an age-old culture which is coming down from the British grassroots, and we should change it. We are living in India and we are not living in any foreign country. So this new thing is really, it should be welcomed.
All right. Mr. Chopra, it looks like at least from the 3 or 4 or 5 callers we've taken so far, yeah, I mean, you seem to be isolated from this very small sample that's sort of called in so far.
No, that's
It
fine.
is not
Isolation
Mr.
is
Chopra,
not
it
the
is
issue.
views
I mean,
which are
you
isolated.
don't start speaking because everybody is in a majority. My point is again, and my point is again simple. Indian culture, Indian dress code, all fine, but you can't have it ad hoc in isolation. You want an Indian culture? Go back to Nalanda, go back to the old days, find out what people were wearing at that time. Work out a dress code that becomes uniform.
I think the point
We want to go back to
Jain,
Nalanda. This is a move to go back to Nalanda. This is a move to go back to Takshila.
Vishnu Jain, I think the point that Naveen Chopra was making
My point
earlier,
is that if the government...
Listen, one second. I think the point Mr. Chopra was making earlier was that, all right, fine, you want to go back to Indian culture, fine. But he's saying that then you should have a dress code for convocations that is clearly identifiable as an academia-related dress code.
Right.
Here there's a white shirt and trouser, a white salwar kameez. How does that get identified as a convocation dress code?
Thank you. Thank you.
Jujhar, the
right.
girls are allowed
That's
to wear
exactly
a
what I'm
sari with a golden strap. If you see in earlier Indian traditions, even if for Kerala weddings, if you will see, the girls are allowed to wear a golden sari with a golden
And what about the men? Are they going to put golden straps
this is a dress code
on their
which
shirts
relates
and
to
pants
Indian
as well?
culture. No, men are allowed to wear pajamas and kurtas and pajamas
With golden straps.
ethnic Indian wears. So how it does not?
No, I think his point is how does it get identified as an academia
for
dress
men it is not
or a
for golden
convocation
straps.
dress?
For men it is kurta and pajama. It is a academia dress. If you see any, I will just give you an example. I went for a convocation festival in Gorakhpur of a Hindu university, and there the dress code was the same dress code which has been adopted by the YMCA University. Same
All right.
dress code.
Okay.
So this
Okay.
dress code of kurta
Okay. And a
pajama
counterpoint
for
from
men
Mr.
and for
Naveen
saris
Chopra
for
over
women
there.
is a dress code of ethnic Indian wear.
Yeah, and very quickly, a counterpoint from Mr. Chopra. Mr. Chopra, on the other hand, white is a color that stands for purity in our culture. So what's wrong with that?
No, nothing wrong with that. Please, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. Please understand what I'm saying, and you yourself reiterated it, that whatever code is adopted as a substitute to the gown and the hat, which is universally recognized as a graduation class, needs to be thought through. Something needs to replace it that can then be the symbol for the Indian civilization or Indian universities who are graduating.
So you're
For
not against the
example,
idea of having an Indian dress
by the
code
Indian ethnic
the
wear.
Brahmins,
replacing the
learned
black
man, the gurus.
dress code. You just want it to be identifiable as a dress of academia. Is that correct? You're okay with throwing out the
Gurukul
black
culture.
dress?
That's correct. It has to be
This is
uniform
Gurukul
across
culture.
all graduating classes.
All right. Let's take one final caller, Ashwini Kumar, on the phone line from Delhi. Please go ahead, Mr. Kumar.
I congratulate Mr. Vishnu Jain. He is right. And YWCA is absolutely right. And Mr. Chopra, he should be, we really want to go back to Takshila and Nalanda. We really want to do that. I congratulate somebody has mentioned these. And people like Mr. Chopra will not even
Correct.
allow us to take the
We
first
want
step.
to go back.
No, Vishnu Jain is saying we want to go back to it.
My dear sir, I'm
They
setting
are
up a
having the
university
syndrome of
and you
slavery.
watch that space. You watch the university we are going to set up.
You are Mr. Chopra. I'm sorry to say, you are having a
Mental
syndrome of
slavery.
slavery. You are obsessed by Britishers. You are obsessed by. You are not able to get. You are
Really?
not able to accept that we are a free land.
Who
we are a
says?
country. Our
Who
own
says?
sovereignty, and we
All right.
want to stick to our Indian culture.
All right.
Thank God.
I think
You
the
are not
major
able to
points of this
accept it.
debate have
This
been
is a
made.
fact.
I think the major
Thank
points.
God I come from a country.
All right. I think the major points of the debate have been made by both sides. We're now going to degenerate into a slanging match. So let's conclude it over there. Thanks very much, Mr. Chopra and Mr. Jain, for joining us.